All right, everyone. My name is Pascal Borel, and I'm talking to you from the region of Lausanne today, the Olympic capital in Switzerland. Uh, Today, well, first of all, I'd like to apologize to all my English community. I've, to some extent, let you down in the sense that I've been making videos in French mostly recently. So I'm back into English and for the better. And I'd like to talk to you about the constitutional marches or the constitutional walk or even the constitutional promenade that we've been doing from Geneva to Vevey on all the Lake Leman, Geneva's lake, as quite a lot of Anglo-Saxon name it. And it was a marvel. It was a marvel. We've been meeting with people so dedicated to actually better and give back their strength to the democracies, to the governance systems that we all evolve in. And I'd like to, I had some people joining us from Geneva, some others from the different towns that we have been crossing. We had some rain here and there, but let's face it, we are waterproof. We don't melt like piece of sugar. Human beings are dedicated and made for that. Um, May I remind you that when you're walking, your neurotransmitters and neuromodulators are at work. It is not for your muscles to be the first thing at work within your body when you're walking. No, it is for your brain. May I remind you that between the brain and the liver, they spend 60+% of the energy that you consume on a daily basis for your life. And when your neurotransmitters and neuromodulators are at work because you're working, they use exactly the same molecules as when you're studying or writing or concentrating on something that you want to learn. And therefore, when you keep this activity for like 6 or 8 hours during the day, it is like training a muscle. Your neurotransmitters, name about 12 of them, and neuromodulator, more than 100, are at work constantly so that you enhance your cognitive functions. Your brain is at work, working constantly. And then you can use it for whatever purposes with much more efficiency. And the best way to illustrate my point is that I could see people coming in the morning. I wouldn't see with a face, but a bit white-ish. And when I was leaving them in the evening, they were literally restored with a huge smile up to their ears. The spark in their eyes had changed completely after 6 or 8 hours of walking. Furthermore, as we're discussing, we're walking mostly on flat area. This is not putting you out of breath. This is not enhancing your heartbeat to, crazy level. No, you can speak constantly. And when you speak, when your brain is at work, sending the driving influx, for putting a step after another one walking, your discussions are enhanced. You understand things in a different light. And so it was absolutely marvelous to see the regeneration or people restoring their trust in the life that we all live through. To some extent, I found Switzerland back in the sense that civility were at the rendezvous. And we've been exchanging with amazing people, with people that had crystal clear ideas, but didn't have probably the roadmap that I have written in my book titled 2024 that you will find on our website www.ovet24.com. Please check it out. You have all the text. If you prefer the paper format, you can order it from there. And my advice is read, because reading is an action. When you listen to a podcast, of course, the book is on Spotify podcast, Apple podcasts, Google podcasts, and so forth. But literally, it enters one ear and goes out from the other one without getting any good hold on your mind. And what I'm advising you to do, we are the sum of our actions, not of our nice thoughts or nice words. And when you read, you are active, you stimulate your brain, and you lose it on a paragraph, you get back before you have a pen in your hand, putting little crosses in the margin, you're underlining what concerns you, what applies to your existence. And everything that you read will get a better grip because you're active, you are in action. So people were coming to me quite often with a list of things, with a weight on their shoulders and on their mind, saying, this is not on, this is what I've been the victim of, this is, and I love listening to people. This is the driver of my personal growth. Let's face it, that is it. What I do for myself, yeah, okay, I like it. But no, I value myself through what I do for others. And when I could hear people offloading literally this burden, this weight they carry 24/7, and suggesting a solution, suggesting a roadmap out of it, man, it was just a fabulous process. So, uh, of course, some people, I was speaking with politicians and they said to me, oh, Pascal, I love what you're doing for the Swiss people. And I said to them, but do you truly believe that I do this for the Swiss people only? Of course, I love my country. Of course, I love Switzerland, and living here is God's blessing, let's face it. But at the end of the day, no, I'm doing it for my Anglo-Saxon community. I would like to organize the constitutional walks or promenade, that I prefer to name them, in England, in the US, in India, at some stage in China, why not? Because everything that I'm suggesting is utmostly benevolent and aims only at the interest of the larger number. And let's face it, the first country which will adopt what is being suggested in terms of the Constitution, chapter 11 of my book, or which will adopt the, I would say, roadmap that I've written entirely for the people, the country which will go into this direction will grant themselves such a competitive advantage that all the other nations worldwide will have to copy the dynamic being generated. It's a little bit what through other means the US is doing at the moment. They do it through the means of tariffs, through the means of making the transactions between countries balanced again. I'm suggesting that we do it from the inside. And let's face it, if it doesn't come from you, it will come from no one. If it doesn't come from me, no one else is going to do it. And it's a bit arrogant, maybe, to say so. But again, you are the sum of your actions. You are not the sum of the events around you or of your nice talking. And no, you are what you make of them, how you interact with Mother Nature. And so the constitutional walks were God's blessing. So am I forgetting something here today? Yeah, probably one thing. When something is important to you, you find a way, else you find an excuse. And again, I'm saying to you, you do it for yourself, egoistically to some extent, and I'm asking you to have an egoist action. You do it for you on the behalf of the fact that when you do right for you, it is probable that you do right for your family, you do right for your community. So you need to make the fabulous experience of walking together with a single aim, rewriting the constitutions, rewriting the legal framework so that the 7-year-old can understand them like instantly. If they are diluted into an amazing complexity, I call it complexititis, and you will find the chapter complexititis in my book 2024. It is not aimed at the future of humanity, because may I remind you, the future of humanity doesn't like with all people like I am to some extent. The future of humanity is within our kids. And if they cannot read and understand the environment in which they evolve, they live, their response to the environment will be wrong. They are doomed. You're stealing from them the capacity to have an accomplished life. And this is not your aim. I know it. We all know it. So we want to rewrite the constitutions and the legal framework so that they are simplified, made available to our young generations. There is a proverb which says that no one should ignore the law. And this is not a proverb, it's a legal concept, meaning that you can't invoke the fact, your ignorance to not comply with the law. But today, this no one is meant to ignore the law, interesting lapsus, has become no one is allowed to understand the law, because you have dozens of thousands of pages of law which will allow everything and its opposite. And this is not on. No, we need to change that so that we can all have a decent response to the environment. We need to give back medicine to doctors, the justice to judges, and so forth and so forth. And this is exactly what I'm advising and writing in the book. So please be active, put yourself in motion, come and walk with us, read the book, underline, cross in the margins, make sure that you understand the dynamic, and you'll be regenerated. You'll have a tool to better the future, to leave a decent legacy to your own kids, to the people that are of importance to you. I think I went through what I wanted to tell you. The next Constitutional Promenade will start in Sion, Vallis, in a few days, probably Friday, next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday, and we'll walk for 4 days to Vevey, so that we came from Geneva, one side of the lake, on the first Constitutional Promenade, and we're going to do another one from Sion. And, you know, maybe you are far away and you can't come along, but you'll be able to follow us through our website, through Google Maps, where we share our position at all time during the walks, not the rest of the time. So be my guest, come along and regenerate yourself. Give yourself a purpose, give yourself a meaning to better the systems, the governance systems in which we all live. May I thank you for your kind and benevolent attention. May peace be with you and with all human beings of the planet. Peace out.